Welcome to today's CRE lesson. Today we are going to look at Christian Religious Education, Paper 1. This is Paper 1, 2019. Question 1A. Explain how the learning of Christian religious education in secondary school promotes the goal of national development. 6 marks. Number 1, Christian religious education encourages the learner to have a positive attitude towards work, or you can say hard work is encouraged or laziness is discouraged. Answer number 2, learning Christian religious education helps the learner to acquire virtues, or rather you can say that it helps a learner to acquire moral values which promote economic development. 3, Christian religious education discourages vices which hinder national development. 4, learners are equipped with knowledge or skills which lead to career development, or you can say they are equipped with knowledge that leads to employment. 5, learners are taught their duties, or rather they are told their responsibilities as human beings, or they are told the need to develop the environment or the nation in general. 6, learners are taught the need to use their talents for the development of self, or to use their talent for the development of others or the nation at large. 7, Christian religious education stresses the importance of peace, love, and unity, which contributes to a favorable working environment. 8, learners are taught to appreciate their culture and that of others to promote national cohesion or cohesiveness. Question 1B. State the meaning of biblical accounts of creation in Genesis chapter 1 and 2. 7 marks. God existed before creation. God is the sole creator of all that exists. Creation is by the will of God, or it's by the power of God, or you can say that creation is not an accident, still the same point. Work or rest is ordained or willed by God. God is concerned about the well-being of creation, or is the provider, or he sustains the creation. Everything that God created is good. Marriage is ordained by God, or marriage is for companionship. Question 1C. Identify the consequences of sin from the story of fall of human beings in Genesis chapter 3. 7 marks. Consequences of sin from the story of the fall of human beings in Genesis chapter 3 are: human beings were separated, or you can say they were alienated from God. That is, also they were chased out of the Garden of Eden. Number 2, childbirth became a painful experience, or rather the woman was to experience pain during labor or delivery. Point number 3, they became embarrassed, or rather they became ashamed because of their nakedness. Another consequence, number 4, death came into the world. That is, human beings started dying. 5, it led to a distorted relationship among human beings, or it led to mistrust or misunderstanding. Another point, they became afraid of God. That is, they hid when God called them. Number 7, the ground was cursed. That is, it was cursed to produce shrubs or thorns. 8, the woman became subject to man, or rather, it became inferior to man. The serpent, that is the snake, was cursed to crawl and eat the dust. So that is point number 9. Number 10, enmity between human beings and the serpent developed. And the last, Answer is human beings were to struggle, or rather they were to toil to meet their needs. Question 2a. State 6 commandments which guide on the relationships among human beings. 6 marks. The commandments which guide on the relationships among human beings are: honor your father and your mother, you shall not kill, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, you shall not covet your neighbor's property. Question 2b. Identify 8 lessons Christians learned from the incident when the Israelites worshipped a golden calf when at Mount Sinai. So the lessons Christians learn from the incident when the Israelites worshipped the golden calf while at Mount Sinai are: Christians learn that they should worship God alone. 2. Christians should lead righteous life. 3. Christians should not represent God in any kind of image. 4. Christians should intercede for others. 5. Christians should be firm in decision making. That is, they should not be swayed or misled easily. That is, they should avoid peer pressure. 6. Christians should have faith, or rather they should trust in God. 7. Christians should repent their sins, or rather they should ask for forgiveness. Or you can even say they should forgive others. 8. Christians should respect those in authority, or rather they should respect those appointed by God. 9. Christians should be patient. 10. Christians should obey God's instructions, or rather they should obey God's teachings. 11. Christians should exercise self-control. That is, also they should avoid anger. The last point, Christians should condemn evil. Question 2c. List 6 forms of worship that were practiced by the Israelites in the wilderness which are found in Christian worship today. Forms of worship that were practiced by the Israelites in the wilderness which are found in the Christian worship today: obeying the 10 commandments, singing or dancing in the church, praying to God, celebration of festivals or feasts, the observing of the Sabbath, giving offerings or tithes, building places of worship, or you dedicate or consecrate the places of worship, and burning incense. Question 3a. Identify 6 factors which led to the widespread idolatry in Israel during the time of Prophet Elijah. So the factors which led to the widespread of idolatry in Israel during the time of Prophet Elijah are: the foreign princesses married to Israelite kings brought with them idol worship. Or rather, the false prophets were brought to Israel. Number 2, Israelites changed their lifestyle from pastoralism to agriculture when they settled in Canaan, and this forced them to worship the god of fertility. 3. The Israelites worshipped God, or they worshipped Yahweh and Baal gods on different occasions. That is, there was religious syncretism. 4. The kings built temples for Baal worship in the northern kingdom of Israel. 5. Israelites broke the covenant through intermarriages with foreigners that adopted Canaanite way of life, or rather temple prostitution. 6. Israelites felt that Yahweh had forsaken them after they were defeated in wars by neighboring nations. That is why they turned to other gods, because they felt that Yahweh had forsaken them. 7. The true prophets of Yahweh who were in Israel were being persecuted. 8. The kings made festivals for the Canaanite gods to be on the same dates as those of the Jewish calendar. Hence, the Israelites were influenced to worship idols. 9. King Ahab made Baalism the official state religion. 10. The rampant presence of the visible idols compared to the unseen God, that is Yahweh. Question 3a. Identify 6 factors which led to the widespread idolatry in Israel during the time of Prophet Elijah. We already tackled that, so we go to 3b. Describe the incident in which Prophet Elijah challenged the prophets of Baal at Mount Carmel in 1 Kings chapter 18 verse 19 to 41. 8 marks. And here you're supposed to explain from the scripture. So Prophet Elijah requested King Ahab to send the prophets of Baal and all the Israelites to Mount Carmel. Elijah asked the people for how long would they limp on 2 different opinions. That is, he also told the people to choose between Lord, that is Yahweh, or Baal. Number 3, Prophet Elijah asked for 2 bulls, one for those who worship Baal and the other for him. Number 4, each group was to offer a sacrifice to their God. The God that would send fire to consume the sacrifice is the true God. 5, Elijah gave the prophets of Baal the first chance to prepare the sacrifice. 6, the prophets of Baal called on their God to send fire, but there was no response. 7, Elijah mocked them to shout louder for their God to answer. 8, the prophets of Baal cried louder. That is, they cut themselves with swords, but there was no answer. 9, Elijah repaired the altar with 12 stones and made a trench around it. 10, he prepared the sacrifice and asked for water to be poured on it. 11, Elijah prayed to God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel to reveal himself. 12, fire fell from heaven and burnt up the sacrifice. 13, the people acknowledged the God of Elijah as the true God. 14, Elijah commanded the people to seize the prophets of Baal, or rather, he commanded the people to kill the prophets of Baal. And point number 15 is Elijah told Ahab to go and eat and prophesied that the rain was coming, or he prophesied the coming rain. Question 3c, state 6 reasons that may influence some Christians to turn away from God today. 6 marks. So reasons that may influence some Christians to turn away from God today is lack of faith, or rather lack of trust in God, influence from non-believers, or ridicule, or even discouragement from non-believers. There is number 3, peer pressure, or you can call it critic influence or fear of the people. 4, quest for better economic power, or you quest for education, or that is what we call greed. 5, lack of role models in the society. That is 5. 6, unemployment or poverty. 7, negative influence from mass media. 8, emergence of different beliefs or different cults. That is what we call religious pluralism. 9, lack of time, or you can say family irresponsibilities or work pressure. And number 10, unanswered prayers. We also have permissiveness in the society, or it's called moral decay. It is called meaning too much freedom in the society. Question 4a, explain 4 visions of Prophet Amos concerning the judgment that would befall Israel. 8 marks. Visions of Prophet Amos concerning the judgment that would befall Israel. Number 1, there was the vision of locusts. Amos saw God sending a great swarm of locusts, which was about to destroy all plants in the land. Amos pleaded with God to forgive the people, and God forgave them. Number 2, there was the vision of fire. Amos saw a supernatural fire that had already burnt up the water and was about to consume the earth. God was going to destroy Israel by sending a supernatural fire. Amos pleaded with God and he withheld the punishment. Vision number 3 is the vision of the plumb line. Amos saw God standing with the plumb line in his hands by a wall. The wall was crooked and God was going to punish the people of Israel. Prophet Amos did not plead for the people, hence God was not going to forgive the Israelites. This time he would destroy places of worship or the dynasty of Jeroboam. Number 4, there was the vision of the basket of summer fruits. Amos saw a basket of ripe fruits at the end of fruit harvest. It showed that the time for the Israelites to be punished was ripe. Amos did not plead with God that the punishment was inevitable. Number 5 is the vision of the destruction of the altar. In the last vision, Prophet Amos saw God standing by the altar. He ordered the destruction of the pillars of the temple, and all the worshippers was being struck. This showed that the wicked people would be killed, or rather they would be destroyed, and none was going to escape death. Question number 4b. Outline 7 ways in which the rich oppressed the poor in Israel during the time of Prophet Amos. 7 marks. The poor were sold for a piece of silver. Number 3, the rich grabbed land or food belonging to the poor. Number 4, the merchants used faulty scales. Number 5, the rich sold goods that were unfit for human consumption to the poor. Number 6, poor people were paid unfairly wage, or rather they were underpaid. Number 7, the poor were sold into slavery for being unable to pay their debts. Number 8, they were charged high interest rates for their banked money. Number 9, the poor were denied justice in low costs due to bribing of judges by the rich. Number 10, the people were prosecuted when they challenged the injustices done. Number 11, the rich failed to return the garments taken as pledge. Number 12, wives of the rich pressured their husbands to exploit the poor to meet their luxurious lifestyles. Question number 4c. Give 5 ways through which Christians in Kenya can avoid God's punishment today. 5 marks. Ways through which Christians in Kenya can avoid God's punishment today. Christians can avoid God's punishment by obeying His commandments or obeying His commands, by reading and putting into practice the Word of God, by leading exemplary lives, that's what we call being a role model, by taking care of the less fortunate, or we call it carrying out charitable activities, by forgiveness, by taking care of God's creation, by praying, by seeking spiritual guidance, by preaching the Word of God. Question 5a. Outline the content of Prophet Jeremiah's letter to the exiles in Babylon. 6 marks. So, the content of Jeremiah's letter to the exiles in Babylon. Prophet Jeremiah encouraged the exiles to build houses, or rather encouraged the exiles to settle down. He told them to plant gardens. He told them to marry so as to increase in number. So they married and have children. Number 4, Prophet Jeremiah advised them to live in peace in Babylon. He also warned them not to listen to the false prophets who lied to them. Number 6, he told them that God would restore them to the land after 70 years. Number 7, he encouraged them to trust in God because God was going to answer their prayers. Number 8, he told them that God had good plans for them. Question 5b. Give 7 reasons why Prophet Jeremiah condemned the practice of human sacrifice in Judah. 7 marks. So reasons why Prophet Jeremiah condemned the practices of human sacrifices in Judah. Number 1, the shedding of blood defiled the land given to the Israelites by God. Number 2, human sacrifice was an act of idolatry. Number 3, It demonstrated Israelites' disrespect to the sacredness of human life. Number 4, human sacrifice showed lack of knowledge of the true nature of Yahweh. Number 5, it was an act of disobedience, or rather it was against God's commandments. Number 6, human sacrifice provokes God's anger. Number 7, it was an act of oppressing the weak or the innocent. It will lead to severe punishment. Number 9, it shows lack of faith in God. Question 5C. Identify 7 ways in which Christians can help to reduce human suffering in Kenya today. 7 marks. Ways in which Christians can help to reduce human suffering in Kenya today. Number 1, Christians can help to reduce human suffering in Kenya today by establishing medical facilities, or you provide medical care. Number 2, by educating the public on their rights. Number 3, by voting out corrupt leaders. Number 4, creating job opportunities for people. Number 5, by condemning social injustices. Number 6, by providing basic needs to the needy. Number 7, by advocating for the just laws, or the distribution of a fair distribution of resources. Number 8, respecting the laws, or you report it to the relevant authorities, praying for those who are suffering. Number 10, offering guidance and counseling to those who are suffering. And number 11 is by preaching peace and love for one another. Question 6a, identify 6 regulations that an expectant mother is required to observe in traditional African communities. 6 marks. An expectant mother is supposed to eat special food. Number 2, she is not expected to perform heavy duties. Number 3, she is to avoid sexual intercourse. Number 4, an expectant mother is not supposed to handle sharp objects to avoid injury. Number 5, she is not supposed to speak face to face with her husband. She is expected to wear protective charms against evil. Number 7, an expectant woman is required to return to her mother or her parents' home for delivery. Number 8, she is supposed to be checked frequently by the midwives. Number 9, an expectant mother is to be given special herbs to keep the health of the baby. Number 10, she's supposed to make sacrifices to appease God. And number 11, to avoid coming into contact with certain people or going to certain places. Question 6b, explain the rituals performed during the birth of a baby in traditional African communities. So rituals performed during the birth of a baby in traditional African communities. So here you're supposed to mention the ritual and what it meant. Number 1, there is the cutting of the umbilical cord, which symbolizes the separation of the child from the mother. Number 2, there was the burying of the placenta in a special place for continuity of life. Number 3, there was the shaving of the mother's and the baby's hair to signify new beginning. Number 4, treatment of the baby and the mother with herbs, or they also wear charms for protection. Number 5, relations are made according to the sex of the baby in order to announce the sex of the child. Number 6, the mother and the baby are secluded for a period of time to give the mother time to heal. Number 7, there is celebrations to welcome the new member of the community. Number 8, there is presentation of gifts to the mother to celebrate them, or there is the holding of the baby to signify shared responsibilities. Number 9, sacrifices are made to God as a sign of thanksgiving, or prayers or prayers to bless the baby and the mother. Also, rituals of purification are carried out to clean the mother from the process of the childbirth, and the baby is given a name for identity. Also, the baby is given sweet and bitter substances symbolizing good and bad experiences in life. And the last question is question 6C. State 7 factors that undermine the role of medicine men in Kenya today. 7 marks. Factors that undermine the role of medicine men in Kenya today. Introduction of Western medicine or science and technology. Number 2, emergence of new religions which do not support medicine men. Number 3, there is destruction of forests or deforestation. Number 4, lack of proper education by herbalists. They lack professionalism, that is. Number 5, herbal medicine is cumbersome to look for. That is number 5. Number 6, low hygiene standards associated with herbal medicine. Number 7, certain chronic diseases cannot be treated by some herbs. Number 8, emergence of conmen or quacks who give wrong medicine. Number 8, there is urbanization, which is the migration from rural to urban centers. Number 10, lack of awareness or education on herbal medicine by the public. Number 11, strict government policies or strict government regulations that control both herbal and modern medicine. So that is the end of that paper 1. Thanks a lot for subscribing and listening to me. God bless you.